Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from Game 7 or from Championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15 to the 20.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports. I don't know, we're having some crazy technical difficulties. I don't know if it's Mercury retrograde or what the hell is going on. But Lord have mercy. The internet is acting crazy. You see the start of the show was acting crazy. I couldn't log on for a minute. Wow. It was crazy morning. Crazy morning here in the Shy. And, wow. Well, listen. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, follow us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. Now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Make sure you're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent YouTube channel. For real. Come on, guys, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, you can also tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become the resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created JQReports.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know the city better than anyone. So my investigative stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My future stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media, who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information on my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Urban. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out jcoydenreports.com and follow me on Twitter at jcoyden.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Competition, I think, exists at all levels of our roster. That's going to bring out the best in all of our guys. Hard to say. Of course, there's certain battles.
For you today. All right, at 10 o'clock, Lester Wiltfong Jr. from Windy City Gridiron is going to join us. We're going to talk all things Bears. Camp has started. They're in pads. So it's I smell it. It's football season. The freshly cut grass. Okay. The the stench, the aroma of a locker room. And listen, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if you've ever played. It doesn't matter if it's $1 million facility or a small little local high school. All football locker rooms smell the same. They all smell the same. They all have that odor. If you've ever been in a football locker room, you know what I'm talking about. When we were at when I was at Curie, I was coaching at Curie. Our principal was not an athletics guy. The assistant principal was not an athletics person. And the head coach was trying to get them to expand, see if they can expand.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
And I apologize. I don't know what's going on with technology today. It is bothersome. It is very, very bothersome. So I really don't. Again, I apologize. Anyway, 10 o'clock, Lester Wiltfong Jr. from Windy City Gridiron is going to join us. We're going to talk all things Bears are back in training camp. Pads are on. They've got some decent news, some good news, okay? And then we got one bit of bad news for one of the rookies who will be missed for about a month, and that really sucks. But, yeah, I'm telling you, all football locker rooms smell the same. So they walked in. It was really funny. They walked in, and mind you, we cleaned our locker rooms, and it was they walked in, and the principal, I said he wasn't a football guy, and the vice principal, she wasn't athletics. They both walk in and like, oh, what's that smell? And the head coach is like, that's just a football locker room. And we're like, it doesn't matter if it's $1 million facility or here, they all smell the same. Because they don't get it, right? You got the sweat from the shoulder pads. You know, you don't wash your shoulder pads every day. Right? You just put them back in your locker. Especially in the high school locker rooms, there's no air. All right, the air for they're usually in the metal locker with the ventilation, but they're compressed, and so it's very it has a distinct aroma. Let me just put it that way. A distinct. Oh man, but anyway, listen, we got that. We got Lester to talk to, and then we got some baseball to talk. All right, the Cubbies are going. They face their first real challenge, and they're not doing.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
How long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe. But some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
That you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Hey, sports owners. I know this isn't the, okay, no face. I know this isn't what you expected to see. Due to some technical difficulties, the SuperBack's going to log off, log back on. So check back with us in about 3 to 5 minutes, and hopefully, big hopefully, things will be straightened out. No guarantees, but we're going to do the best we can. So check back in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become a resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created gervondextersr.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know the city better than anyone. So my investigative stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My future stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media, who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information on my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Durden. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out jcoinreports.com and follow me on Twitter at jcoin.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Man, welcome back to ShawnSierraSports, guys. I can't apologize enough. I have no idea. It's this technology thing. It is you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. All right. And it's man, please, I ask that you just bear with me today. It's got a mind of its own. It's literally got a mind of its own. So I guess my bandwidth is, I don't know what the hell's going on, to be honest with you. I'm not a techie guy, so I can't give you a really good explanation for it. but apparently my internet's acting crazy, and that's all I know. That is all I know. So anyway, as I was saying, at 10 o'clock at the top of the hour, we're going to have Lester Wiltfong. We got baseball to talk. We got football to talk. We got basketball to talk. We got a lot to unpack today, and we already lost a little bit of time because this thing has stopped me from hopping on earlier when I was at scheduled time, and then you see it's acting up now. So it's not going to stop us, though. It doesn't matter. It's not going to stop us. All right, we got a lot to talk, and I got some people in the chat that I ain't seen in a minute. Let me say what's up to everybody real quick. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up? What up? Shawn Sierra, Sports Zone fans. Yes, rest in peace, Rhino. We're definitely going to talk about him. Shorty's in the morning. Top of the morning to you, Mr. Shorty. How you doing? Black Diamond's in the house. All right, it's top of the morning. Rest up, Rhino. Interesting topic. I want your opinion on Shawn with the Hoyer getting extended. Is Tom Ricketts the next Jerry Reinsdorf and throwing away money? I don't know. My man Jay Grizz from Philly. You must be enjoying it. No, we split the first two. My man Jay Grizz in the house for a minute. I haven't seen you in a minute, Papa. Where you been? You act like you owe me money or something, dog. Where you been? Michelle Walls in the Mickey Figgy house. Like, what's up on the hump day? FGB. That's what I'm talking about. FGB. Yeah, Jay Grizz. I was sad too. I'm not gonna lie. I liked Rhino growing up. Ryan Sandberg growing up was we watched them all the time. They were on regular TV. Good friend of mine. A big shout out to Danny Schaller, the Luggy, because his nickname was Luggy. Big shout out to him. We watched the 84 game, the 84 season. All right, when the ball goes through Leon Durham's legs. All right, he basically wanted to cry. I felt bad for him. I wasn't a Cub fan, but I still felt bad for him. I get it. King Booker World checking in. What's up? Just salute everybody and Shawn. How you doing, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. All right. Shorty says I was in Yellowstone last week. I'm in Deadwood, South Dakota right now, packing up my camper to drive home for the next 3 days. Just wanted to say hi and rest in peace, Rhino. I hear you, man. It didn't matter if you're a Cub or Sox fan. He had the respect of the entire city, of both fan bases, and it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate, man. It really is. So, my man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. is checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I told you we're working on the swag shop. This is another one of the shirts that will be available to you on Sports Zone's Chicago swag shop. You saw the other one, the FGB shirt. That was dope. If you missed it, go back and check out Friday's show. Go back and check out Friday's show. I swear I thought Rick was going to have a coronary. He loved it. Rick Gonzalez. He'll be checking in here in a little bit, I'm sure. But go check that out and see the shirt I have. It's an FGB shirt. So we'll have some cool items on display for you to purchase. Sports Zone Chicago. For my cigar smokers, we're working on something for you. So we're gonna have hats, we have shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, the whole nine, all that stuff, and just kind of branch out and start doing some pretty cool stuff that should have been done before, but Nimodo is being done now. So I'm excited about it, and you should be too. You'll be rocking some Sports Zone Chicago swag, and that's gonna be dope. So let's peep this. There you go. So let's get it crack-a-lack a little bit. I got to see where we're at here. Yeah, we're going to crack-a-lack it, guys, because the show's already been a little crazy. And like I said, I'm not a technology guy, so I'm like in the dark here. I'm in the dark over here. Steve's telling me your bandwidth's being used. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means. It's a bandwidth, Steve. I've heard of it, but what the hell is it? That's what happens when you're 50-something and you have no idea about technology. to me. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, here's what we're gonna do. Steve, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to a quick break because I got to get the warden off the CrossFit. I usually do it on the first commercial break, but we've been having a lot of interruptions this morning. But I'm gonna go on a quick break, at a commercial break. Let me get her off to CrossFit, and I'll be back. We'll kick it off at the top of the morning as soon as I get done. All right. So keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
How long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe. But some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Hits. Throw to first, close play, out at first. Oh, they got him right on the backside.
Bush did two things at once. He caught the throw backhanded, and as he did, all in the same motion, he tagged out a diving.
That one on a hop under the glove of Bryce Terang and out into center field. Nico Horner sizzles one past the second baseman.
In the batter.
The pitch. Towards third, Seatler goes to second, out at second. The run comes in, and the Cubs have the lead.
RBI number 50
for Nico Horner.
Horner drills that one left field. That's back towards the wall. Gone. Nico Horner will touch them all. And the Cubs get a run back for Nico, his 4th of the year.
Maybe that.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports and Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those are the Northsiders. Going a little further north. Some people call it Wrigley North. Other people call Wrigley Field Miller Park South. I don't know. But anyway, Cubs had a rough one yesterday. They lost their second consecutive game to the first place Milwaukee Brewers, 93, and it was interesting. The Cubs to this series tied with the Brewers for the best record in the National League as they embarked on a 3-game set north of the Cheddar Curtain, and to this point they are having a rough time. All right, but let's get it cracking. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Here we go. First top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way? We got to start here. It's no Cubs. Here we go. Don't get mad at me, Cub. Do not hate the messenger. Okay. The Cubs fall to Milwaukee Brewers 9-3. Yesterday, Colin Ray got the start. He got the loss. He's 8-5 on the season. He went 4 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 punch outs, Nico Horners. You saw he was 3 for 4. He had a home run, his 4th of the season, driving in his 43rd RBI on the campaign. Dansby Swanson was 1 for 4 with an RBI, his 50th. And PCA was 1 for 2, driving in his 77th RBI of the season. Keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topic, the Cubs look to avoid the sweep today in Milwaukee. First pitch is at 1:10 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. The probables for today's game: Shota Imanaga on the bump for the Northsiders. He's 7-4 with a 3.12 ERA going up against Freddie Peralta. For the Brew Crew, he's 12-4, with a 2.81 ERA. Cubs looking. There's a couple different ways to look at it, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Well, I can talk about it now. All right, you can sit there and be upset, or you can look at it as if, well, wait a minute, the Cubs are 2 games off the best record in the National League. And I know it's tough for you to look at it like that, Cub fans, because of the fact that you're Cub fans and you're emotionally involved. They're having a rough stretch, but this is baseball. This is why they play 162 games. There's ebbs and flows, okay? There's ebbs and flows. And Milwaukee just had, a 12-game winning streak? Okay, they're going to flow. They're going to ebb sometime. And guess what? You might not want to be ebbing at the end of the year. You want to be flowing. And the Cubs a situation could arise where the Cubs start getting hot late and Milwaukee hits that cold streak. So don't get too crazy. And I know it's easy to get crazy for us Chicago fans, especially Cub fans. You'll get crazy, okay? But it's a long season, and every team goes through its peaks and valleys. And Milwaukee is playing good baseball right now, okay? The Cubs are playing good baseball right now too, okay? Well, they were until they ran into the Brewers. The Brewers are playing better baseball, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to win the division. Doesn't mean you're not going to make the playoffs. You still have a lot more games to go, okay? So just don't hang with every single game, every single pitch, all right? There's a chance that, as I said, Milwaukee may hit a rough patch late in the season, which is what you don't want, and the Cubs could catch fire at the end of the season and run away with the division by a couple of games. It's possible, but that's just the way baseball rolls. All right? Keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topic, the good guys from the South Side. Yeah, they had a rough one yesterday. Whew. They had a rough one yesterday. They fell to 6-3. White Sox fell to the Phillies 6-3. Yeah. Sox are having a rough go at it right now as well. All right, we lost 2 out of 3 from the Cubs at home. We welcome Philly. Okay, we split the first 2. And now we have the rubber match. All right, but yesterday they fell to the Phillies 6-3. Jonathan Cannon got the loss. He is 4-8 on the season, 6 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 punch-outs. Lenyn Sosa was 2 for 4 with a homer, his 10th of the season, driving in his 39th and 40th RBIs of the season. And Colson Montgomery, the Rookster, as you see in the picture, he drove in his 17th RBI of the season. Staying there, the next top of the morning topic, the Sox host a rubber match today at Rate Field. First pitch is at 1:10. We got both teams going at 1:10. All right, both 1:10 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sportsnet or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 a.m. The probables for today's game for Philly and Jay Grizz's squad out in from the city of Broad Shoulders. Taijuan Walker's on a bump for the Phillies. He's 3-5 with a 3.84 ERA going up against Adrian Hauser. And I don't know why Adrian Hauser's going, but I'll tell you in a second. Going up against Adrian Hauser for the White Sox, he's 6-2 with a 2.10 ERA. And the reason I say I don't know why Adrian Hauser's going, because when Adrian Hauser got here, he's pitching very, very, very well. And he has been the talk of a lot of trade speculation. All right, a lot of trade speculation, and you wonder if they're going to deal him. Why is he pitching today? The trade deadline is tomorrow, and why would you pitch him today? Because he won't be good for another team for 4 or 5 days. I don't understand it. Then again, I don't make the big bucks, and I wonder, like, why do GMs? And I'm seeing it in all sports. Like, I'd love to apply for a GM job. Love to apply for it. I give me a year or two to study someone, be their understudy. You know what I mean? And watch, learn a little bit. But for some reason, GMs make just weird, stupid, and in my opinion, decisions often. And you wonder why you're making these silly decisions. I don't get it. And my question is it coming from upstairs? Is the is the owner meddling too much, and he has too much of a role in decision making? What the heck's going on a lot of times with the decision that GMs make? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand. But anyway, let's keep it moving. The next top of the morning topic is a tough one. Ooh, Charlie. The girls are having a rough time. The Chicago Sky, they fell to the Washington Mystics 103-86. Angel Reese was back. She led the way with a double-double, 22 points, 13 rebounds. Camila Cardozo, King Book of World, your future ex-wife, double-double as well, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Rachel Banham contributed 19 points in the losing effort. I don't know what's going on with those girls. They're going through a rough spot. And the thing about it that you see there, as we've all seen, there have been situations or games against the Lynx in particular, where they looked really, really, really good. Ball movement was crazy, was excellent. It was just flowing. And now it's frustrating. You see it with one team, and then you don't see it against other teams. So I don't know. It's frustrating to watch because you see what they can do. You see it. The vision, the good passing, the interior passing, the layups, going to the hole, 3-point shots. So I don't. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. But They need a point guard. Haley Van Lith is not ready to take the reins. She's a rookie. All right, when Courtney Vandersloot went out with a torn ACL, that really did us in. And let's be honest, we understand what a point guard can do. We understand the importance of a point guard. Remember, we had Rajon Rondo a couple of years ago when we had Rondo, Jimmy Butler, and Dwayne Wade. Remember that? We went up 2-0 on Boston in the playoffs. Then Rondo goes down, game over. Series over. Then we also had Lonzo Ball. Remember that a couple of years ago. It was 21-22. Had the best record in the East. He gets hurt. The next 2 seasons are down the drain without a true point guard. So we understand the importance of a point guard and how they run a team. And right now, Haley Van Lith is just not ready to take that mantle. It was okay for her getting some subbing in and coming off the bench, but her running the show, it seems to be a little too much for her. They need a true point guard. It says this guy has a severe lack of athleticism. I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree with that, Cornelius. I just think they don't have anyone to run the show. I just think that they don't have anyone to run the show, and that's the issue. It's Mashawn, yes, you say guard play is important. How many times have I told you in the NCAA tournament? All right, when you're watching the tournament, teams with guards who are juniors and seniors usually do well because guard play is so important. They determine the pace, the flow of a game. And right now we don't have someone like that to do it for the girls. Next topic, this is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. Chicago Cubs, former Cubs second baseman Ryan Sandberg passed away this past week from colon cancer, and he had beat it, but it returned. And it's everybody remembers the Sandberg game. All right. He was beloved. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say a bad thing about him or talk shit about him. Okay? This guy was a kid from Washington, a shy kid from Washington, who started his career as a third baseman. All right, started as a third baseman, moved to second, and the rest, as they say, is history. His demeanor, his poise is great. I mean, it sounds weird when you say he's great. He was very, very classy in everything he did. Okay. I enjoyed watching him and Bobby Dernier as a kid. The Daily Double. Remember, Bobby Dernier came over there both with Philly to start their careers. And yeah. What are we talking about, guys? Yeah, it's spelled correctly. It's spelled correctly, B-E-R-G. Anyway. Anyway, it was to watch him play was like his range was awesome. The one thing that I could say that I honestly say about him, the one thing that I can say about Rhino was that he never messed up the routine play. And you're saying, well, why does that make him so great? Well, let me tell you something. When you make the routine play, when you become reliable, okay, whatever sport it is, and you make the routine play, there comes a level of comfort with your team, with the fan base, with the organization, knowing that if that ball goes to you, you're going to make the play. And that was the one thing. He had great range. Don't get me wrong. He had great range. But the routine play was just that for Rhino. Routine. Didn't mess up the routine play. How many times did we see Tim Anderson make some phenomenal plays, go up the middle, turn, spin, jump, throw, got him. Ground ball right at him. Oh, fumbles, bobbles the ball, throws it high, safe. Chuck Knobloch. Remember the Chuck Knobloch? Couldn't throw it from second to first. Remember that? When you get Ryan Sandberg was fundamentally sound. And he happened to do some great things as well. He made some flashy plays. He made some big plays. But his thing was the model of consistency throughout his years with the Cubs. You always knew he was never going to make it. He's never going to have 10, 15, 20 errors. That was never happening. He showed up big in key moments with the bat as well. And he was a pleasure to watch. I met him once or twice. Nice guy. Just a very humble man. Just a great dude. And the baseball world, the Cubs Nation, I know you're still reeling from it, but the baseball world as well is reeling from it. A gentleman like that. And it really sucks, man. He beat cancer once. He came back. And like I've said before, I never advocate for anyone to die. Even people that I don't get along with. People that I want to kick in their baby nuts. Okay? But if God gave me ask for my opinion, I have some suggestions. And Rhino would not be one of them. He was part of my childhood as well. All right? I told you, my friend, he would come over in the summer, we'd watch Cub games with him. Still a Sox fan, but that was my guy. And he couldn't get the TV. He had a lot of people at the house like, they don't want to watch this. So we would hang out and we'd come home and we'd watch the Cub games. So watching him many summers of my life, you grow an appreciation for him. Game recognized the game. I didn't have to be a Cub fan to recognize that Rhino was a great player. I didn't have to be a Cub fan to understand his 8, 9, 10 Gold Gloves. Okay, showed that he was a great player. And I didn't have to be a Cub fan to respect his talents, which I did. Rest in peace, Rhino. Cub Nation and the baseball world definitely is in a sad place right now because of your passing. All right, listen, we got to take a quick break because on the other side of the break, we're going to talk to my man, Lester Wiltfong Jr. We got some Bears topics to discuss. Just one or two. Not a lot. Just one or two. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best. I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Every body in a work zone is someone's somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
The way we see him every day. Here's a pitch swung on a long drive. Deep right center, way back. It might be out of here. It is a home run. Holy cow. Another home run for Ryan Sandberg.
Has a 10-game hitting streak. There's a fly ball deep into right field. It's up. It is gone. Ryan Sandberg puts a charge in one to right. His 15th home run of the year.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Man, those were the days. If you're old enough to remember those, that was Wrigley before it was reconfigured. Before it was reconfigured, before they added the scoreboard, before the rooftops were acting crazy. That's an old school, and I can guarantee you, all those people in there should have been at work on the bleachers. They called off. That I can guarantee you. But again, rest in peace, Ryan Sandberg. He was a true baseball legend, Chicago Cubs icon, and just an all-around great guy. My guest today, I'm excited to bring him on, man. He's the head honcho over at Windy City Gridiron. And you can find him on Twitter at Wiltfong Jr. That's Wiltfong Jr. Guys, let's welcome back to ShawnSierraSports, Lester Wiltfong. Lester, what's up, Papa? How are you? Good morning.
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well. I had some computer issues early, but we're smooth now. Knock on wood.
Nice.
So, that technology thing, bro.
Technology, man. It's crazy.
So, man, the boys are back. They're just about the practice just finished up today. I just got the notification that the interview is about to start. They say, "Oh, the interviews are there." Then it takes like 7 minutes before the first person comes up.
Yeah, real short practice today, from what I understand, and there's some bad weather, rolling through. So I'm surprised they didn't cancel training camp for the fans. But that's kind of cool that they figured they'd had a window there, let the fans come out, enjoy some time. And it's rough, man, when you get those tickets, and especially if you live far away, right? And you got to plan to go out there, and then sorry it was canceled, but there's no alternative. That's just kind of what you have to do.
Yeah, and it's bad because you can't even. Have you been to Hall's Hall, right? I mean, yeah. So you got to take the shuttle. It's like you got to drive to Hawthorne Mall and then take the shuttle. And if they cancel it, you're like, what the hell? Like, there's nothing there where the Bears practice. Yeah. It's in the back of an industrial center. Like, it's all the way in the back, and you're like, what the hell? Like, there's no. It's bad. Like, I really hate the fact that they moved it to Hallis. It's smaller, right? but apparently they just had too many issues at Olivet Nazarene when my guy was working for them, and he was telling me that every year was something else. Because I asked, like, why did you move? I'm like, that made it was perfect for everybody. You had the little town, you had the little restaurants, you had the shops, you brought in tons of money for that little community, for 4 or 6 weeks. But yeah, it's frustrating. I hate and now then people selling tickets now once they get them.
Oh, that's the worst. Come on, guys. Let the fans have their fun, So that's the worst part of it. So
yeah, I'm probably gonna go to Fan Fest and then also see if we can I'm trying to get some credentials for a couple of days in camp. I'd like to do that. I would love to be able to get there and be behind the scenes at practice. I mean, we get credentials for the game, but I want practice. We're talking about practice. Practice. Yeah. So what are you excited about? Or give me your overall thoughts about what you've heard in camp about camp and what you've seen, or what people who have gone there have told you. Your overall thing, and then talk to me about Caleb afterwards.
I think that did you see that JJ Watt tweet from like last week, where he mentioned about how dumb it is to track these stats in camp, and how fans and even the media, they don't know what's going on half the time. They don't know if the team's working on something specific,
right?
If they're working on a drill like during an 11-on-11, want to see something exactly how Caleb reacts to something, and then it comes out where that's what Ben Johnson's been doing. He's been scripting up pressure, making sure that it's always there for Caleb. So look, the media doesn't know, because no one said anything. Fans certainly don't know because no one said anything. But then Ben Johnson comes out. He's very transparent. Or it was Declan Doyle first came out and said it. Ben Johnson followed up with the interview with Albert Breer. So it was just interesting to kind of see how that all comes out. I've never taken much of a stock in camp. Defense is always ahead of the offense. Offense always looks like crap. If you follow all teams around the league, and look, it's hard to do, but there's a couple of nice Twitter accounts that I kind of follow that tweets out stuff from the beat from other places. It's all the same, it's Patrick Mahomes throws picks too, Jason McCarthy throws picks.
Stop it.
It happens. It's they're working on things. So I don't put too much stock in it. What are the guys getting through it healthy? That's the key. Are there some fundamental issues that they have to clean up, which there are, and it sounds like they're getting better every day. So, it is what it is. You just kind of enjoy it for what it is. Don't put too much into the highs or the lows. And then, the key is getting everyone ready for week 1 against the Vikings.
Lester, thank you. Because I'm screaming it from the mountaintops. You don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, let them develop. And it's not linear. So today he was, when you track the stats, like who does that? Like, come on, guys.
I saw it today. He was 4 for 10 in low red zone. I think it was yesterday. Someone tweeted out that his adjusted completion percentage was excellent. Like adjusted, that's a Pro Football Focus stat. Who the hell has time to track adjusted completion percentage? And do you even know what's going on? That's it. Come on, guys. It makes no sense to me. Just enjoy what's going on. If Ben Johnson's happy with what's going on with his team, then as fans, we should be pretty happy.
Yeah, one thing I want to get down there. Like I said, I'm probably going to go to Fan Fest. One of the things I want to watch is I really want to watch the play action. I want to watch that. All right, because the more, and I explained the importance of play action and how it worked for Peyton Manning, how it worked for Jared Goff. The run game's got to be improved with the three hogs of the new hogs that we got. I anticipated being improved, and that's the thing that I would watch. Like in 11-on-11, all right, is he right? Is he sticking the ball in the gut of the running back and then pulling it out? Okay, before we pass on play action, I need to see that because that's going to tell me how he's going to do in the game, and that's going to tell me those linebackers have no choice but to come downhill if the ball's in the belly of the running back.
Yeah,
and so I need to see those small things from Caleb. I'm excited for him because of the yak monsters that he has with DJ Moore and Luther Burden, who got chewed out and kicked off the field the other day. And Roll Tuesday. I love it. Me too.
Accountability, right?
Crazy. We bitch and moan about it, and then when you get it, people complain like, "Why'd you kick him out? He's a rookie." No, well, he's a grown ass man. He's a grown ass multimillionaire who needs to learn his playbook, and I love that. I think that's one of the best things that he's holding everybody accountable. He yelled at Caleb. He threw the first team off of. There's there's a big level of old school coaching involved with Ben Johnson. How much do you like when you hear about things like that?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I just wrote an article yesterday about this because did you catch that DJ Moore quote talking about how the team's uncomfortable, obviously, holding everyone accountable. So I kind of saw that. I'm like, man, that made me remember when Ben Johnson was hired. A lot of people, he's this offensive guru. He's this wonder kid, right? He can't command a room. He doesn't have that fire and passion. That was the one gripe some people were concerned with. I mean, that stuff went out the window quick. He came in right away. He put his foot down. This is how he's going to run his team. Detail orientated. One of our podcasts, Taylor Dahl, talked with Jeremy Reisman, who covers the Lions. And he's like, man, Ben Johnson's always pissed off on the practice field. I mean, that's what he told her. He's like, this is not the guy that the media in Chicago seem to think they're getting. He's a intense dude, so he's shown that right away in Chicago. So, I mean, it's, you said, old school mentality, holding people accountable. The Flus era we didn't get that. I mean, it was Flus throwing people under the bus. It was a lot of fun and games. The offense was basically able to do what they wanted to do last year under Waldron. And that ends, man. If you're not lined up where you're supposed to be on this play, like you said, you're getting kicked off the play. They don't have time. The NFL really limits how much time you're on a field. Yeah. So if your offense isn't getting lined up right, that's wasting time. Ben Johnson ain't about that. Get the hell off the field. Let's get the twos on here. And let's run through this. We can everyone get their work in. Yeah,
they're limited on time by practice, by the day, and the amount of days they can practice, and the amount of days in pads. I mean, that's all collectively bargained. So you're right. If you're screwing it up, and offensive coordinators or play callers, all right, they'll have a list of plays they want to get through. There's no way in God's green earth they can get through those plays, even if they run perfectly. Yeah. All right, their playlist runs like this long. All right, we got 5 minutes in this period. We got 37 plays. Like, it's not going to work. But I love the fact that he's trying. And there's a thing where you hustle but don't hurry, and that's the things you got. So you have to understand where you're going. You have to, and the thing is getting in as many plays as possible, and that's building up toward 2-minute drill and the game drill. Those type of things where there's ways where you got to hustle, but don't hurry. And I love it. I love it. I love the accountability. I love he's kicking everybody. He's putting foot to ass to everybody. And when he kicked the first team off, it sets the tone. When you yell at the star player, the face of the franchise, as Caleb is, man, everybody else has to fall in line. Like, damn, if he's getting his ass chewed out, who am I? I'm number 37 on the roster. You know what I mean? Like, hey, he's got no love lost for me. So I think that's a great way for him to approach it. And I think that there's a lot of things that he's been doing, Lester, that go back to old school football and championship teams that I played for or coached. And I think this is really setting up the championship window for this team. Probably like next year it might open, but like in 2 years it'll really be open for this team.
100%. I mean, if Ben Johnson's the guy we all hope he is, we all assume he is, right? I mean, he has this great rep around the league. If Caleb is the guy we all hope he is, we all think he is. Of course, he was the first overall draft pick, ton of accolades in college, had a lot of flashes last year. The worst thing is this partnership between Ben Johnson and Caleb should have happened last year. They should have got rid of Flus. It didn't happen. So here we are. Everything's kind of delayed by a year where as far as the progression of the quarterback is, but they're here now. I'm glad you mentioned play action because that was a big thing Ben Johnson did in Detroit. Jared Goff led the league, I think, 2 years in a row with play action yards. And people say, hey, well, play action. You have to run the ball good. Well, the Bears last year were not a very good run team, right? Their average yards per carry was down. They weren't really committed to the run. But the times when Caleb ran play action, I think he was like 20th in the league. His EPA was like way higher than non-play action passes. So that just proves that it's like you said, it's being deceptive with the ball. Is the ball being tucked in? Right? I had a guy I used to coach with who called it playing the air guitar. You want to stick the ball in there with your hand, and the other end hiding it looks like you're playing the air guitar. That's what he wants to see in the quarterback when he turns your back to the defense. Yeah. So you got to be deceptive. The play fake has to work. Your offensive line has to have good pad level on these play action passes because a lot of times the linebackers are reading the guards, right? They're not reading the quarterback. They're looking at the guards' helmets. What's happening? So everyone has to be deceptive. If that works right, man, play action is a cheat code. And then you got, of course, the two tight end sets. with Ben Johnson. You got, 3 receiver sets. There's so many options he has now in this offense. It's just exciting, but we got to see it come together.
Yeah, we do. And I'm looking for baby steps this year. The one thing that I'm anxious to see them develop. Like, you remember like, if you're a Cub fan, I'm not even going to use the Cubs because I hate the Cubs. But if you're a Blackhawks fan, you remember when we drafted Taze and Kane and we watched them grow. All right. If you're a Cub fan, when they got all those guys, all right, you with Rizzo and Baez and Brian and all those guys, and you watch them grow. This is what we're doing now. And I think they can make a lot more noise this year than people think. Give me your thoughts on what is your floor for this team? What do you think the ceiling for this team could be this year?
Yeah, I think it's a playoff team. I think they got a great chance to be a wild card team. Look, last year they had 5 wins. That they had more talent than a 5-win team last year. The coaching killed that team. Exactly. Coaching matters. I mean, they really did a bad job as far as, end of game situations, which is why Waldron was fired and why Matt Eberflus was fired, is because they realized that they're just not getting it done. So, they stole wins from this team last year. So this is not a typical 5-win team. Ben Johnson kind of mentioned that when he kind of came in here and he was hired. He came to Chicago for Caleb. He came to Chicago because he liked the roster. He believed in it. So I see no reason why this can't be a playoff team pushing for a wild card spot. I think 9-8 may not get it done in the NFC, but I think we're going to at least have fun this year. We're going to see this team in the hunt the whole season. And I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's going to happen.
Guys, we're joined by Lester Wiltfong Jr., the editor-in-chief of Windy City Gridiron, talking Bears football here on ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I have them right there, Lester. I have 10-7. Yeah. I have 10-7 because I think at the end it's going to click. And here it's a situation where people got to understand where it looks ugly. And it for all intents and purposes, it is right now.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're going against a good defense. Let's not get it twisted. They're still going, and I know it's a new defensive coordinator, but they're still running the same system, 4-3. You still got the same guys from last year. You got tons of talent at every level. And as you said before, defenses tend to, if you're in a cover 2, like how many different things can you do in a cover 2? Like you have certain responsibilities in a cover 2, like you have certain responsibilities in a cover 3. Okay, so there's not a lot of variance in what you can do. Maybe disguise it a little better, who knows? But the fact that they're going up against this defense and they're giving them problems, you're not going to go up against a defense this well every week. And you're going to see it's going to be a situation where it looks like crap in practice, but against another team. Ever notice that? Against another team, the blocks seem clear, the lanes seem a lot more defined, but in practice it's all mush. Ugh. But in games, it's a lot clearer, and I think that's what's going to happen to this team. What week do you think it clicks? Not where they're going to be like the best offense in the NFL, but where it clicks and Caleb gets it. About what week do you think? And I'll let you know what I think.
Well, I kind of look back on Ben Johnson's first year as the full-time play caller in Detroit. It took that offense a little while to get going. They were pretty good out the gate, obviously, because he's a very good play caller, very good schemer. He knows how to get things open. He knows how to marry the run and the pass. So I think he'll get it clicking, fairly early. I'm guessing, maybe a month into the season. I think we still should start seeing things, where Ben Johnson wants it. But like I said, knowing how he's a perfectionist. He's not going to be satisfied. I mean, he's going to want this team to kind of, hit their marks every single play, 100%, perfection. That's what he's going to want out of the squad. But I think, like I said, preseason game, we're not going to see too much there. About a month into the regular season, I think we should start seeing this offense click a little bit. And like you said, you mentioned that defense. Dennis Allen, man, this hire has not been getting as much publicity as I want.
You should. Yeah.
I mean, I mention it when I can. He's a very good defensive play caller. What he does up front with his front seven, he gives the offensive line a lot of different looks. He does not let you know where he's coming from. And he doesn't always blitz. I mean, he'll blitz more than Flus did last year. But he's given looks where he may line up your defensive end, tighter. He may line up the defensive end in a wide 9. He may bring up, he may mug the linebackers up. He may bring the nickel over. He's trying to show you different looks as a blocking scheme. So you don't know what you're supposed to do. It messes with the offensive lineman's rules. because if this guy's lined up in this gap, he's got to do this thing. But then as the ball's being snapped, he backs off, so he's got to change on the fly. So Dennis Allen's going to do a lot of ridiculous things. And as Bears fans, I don't think we've seen that level of creativity in a coordinator in a long, long time.
Yeah, Lester, I think I really hate that the bye's after week 4. All right. I would love it after week 8 or 9. However, but wait, there's more. I think in this situation, it really works well for us. Here's why. After the first 4 weeks, after the Vegas game, all right, you can kind of reset. All right, with the new scheme, you can see what's working, you can see what's not working, and then you can make adjustments during that bye week. I said after week 10, I think you're going to see a much better an offense that's flowing very, very efficiently and smoothly. And again, not going to be the number 1 offense in the NFL, not this year, but you're going to see a complete difference, a very different team, in my opinion, starting week 11 than you see in the beginning of the season. They got the early reset after week 4. They got the bye, and then you got a couple more weeks after that for them to kind of rework the new adjustments that they make. And I think after week 10, or maybe even week 10, is when you start to see this, and it's going to be one heck of a show. We're stepping into a new era that it's going to be exciting to watch. Talk to me about this left tackle position. You're a former offensive lineman. Your thoughts. All right, Braxton Jones been out there, but he's rehabbed. My question about him is how much has he been able to lift? All right, it's tough. He's always had chicken legs. All right, his biggest issue was the bull rush, and then you get an ankle injury. How strong are his legs now? All right, you got Karana Magaji, who was thrown to the Wolves last year, missed all of camp. Then you got Ali Shapiro, who's a monster of a mountain of a man, almost as big as you, Lester. Jesus Christ, the dude's like 6'8", but he's got an attitude. He loves to pancake people. Give me your thoughts on that left tackle position. Who do you think wins it? And is that going to be a cause for concern or an area for us to look at, to be keep a mindful eye on as the season goes on?
Yeah, I think if it's close, they'll go with the rookie Ozzie Shapiro. If it's close, But look, we got to see how they how to work once they get the everything live there, because Braxton Jones being a veteran, he's seen everything. He knows the fronts. I just talked about how a defense likes to trick an offensive line. Braxton Jones has seen all these tricks. He's seen a lot of this stuff. He's a very experienced player. When I look at the film, I'm not seeing him get tricked by stunts. He's good at the feel for when to pass off a stunt. He understands, when to get his guy. He understands when, if there's 2 guys lined up with him, he understands which guy to leave alone, because that's the back's responsibility. So, Braxton Jones has the mental side down. So if Ozzie can show that he knows that as well, and the physical part is fairly close, I think they'll go with the rookie. But I said earlier in the offseason that I think it's going to be Braxton, just because I think he's further ahead as far as a professional. But there's been some nice reports from Ozzie in camp, man. And then with Karana Magaji, he never should have saw the field last year. So what we saw as fans with him playing and looking so bad, we never should have seen that. He should have been redshirted. He should have been, the 10th O lineman. He should have been coming in for a few tight end, reps as a jumbo O lineman there. We never should have seen him. But when you watch this film at Yale, and I watched a little bit, he has some skills. He has some tools. He is a good athlete. He has long arms. He has played with good leverage there. Those things translate to the NFL. He just wasn't ready, man, coming off that injury. So again, we've heard good reports on him. O-line coach Dan Rochard mentioned that he's really improved a lot. I think he has. Become where he came from. He should. But I think he may be your swing guy, and I think it's going to be at some point they got to whittle it down to just 2 guys in the mix. You can't have 3 guys competing for the job. So I think it'll be Braxton and Ozzie next week, maybe moving on through preseason, and then make a decision. Name your starter and stick with it.
I really hope, and you brought something up. This is something that last year I felt accomplished when I asked, was it last year or 2 years ago? When I asked, do you ever have bring a lineman in? You know what I mean? And then it was 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, and the next week they brought in a lineman. I think they should have done that with Karana Magaji last year to get him some. Because listen, you're an offensive lineman. How much would you love to have a freaking head start to kick out a defensive end or attack? a defensive tackle. You know what I mean? You got a head start. And I think that'll get him excited. I think that'll get him involved in it. I think just getting some playing time and having some success early would have been huge for this kid, because there's people in general, whatever we're doing, whether it's work or sports, relationships, you want success early, and it gives you motivation to continue doing what you're continue working on your craft. And I think they really put him behind the 8 ball by not doing that. All right, you don't think he would have you talked about his athleticism, line him up. You come in, report number 70, whatever, reports it eligible. You set him in motion, kicks out the defensive end, gets him in a positive mindset, feeling good about himself, and not just feeling good, but seeing it on tape.
Yeah.
Right? You're watching it in film, and your O-line coach is like, watch this block from, oh my gosh. That builds confidence. That builds something, and they didn't do that for that kid last year. It's a freaking Pro Bowler, his first time after not having camp. I'm like, oh my God, this kid's getting destroyed.
Yeah.
But talk to me about the running back. So we got the offensive line, that left tackle position. What about the running back room? Are you happy with the running back room? A lot of people are having issues. They wanted another running back. You got DeAndre Swift. You got Kyle Monangai. You have Roschon Johnson. You have Ian Wheeler. You have Travis Homer. Are you okay with that running back room?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, look at DeAndre Swift. I mean, he had some good moments last year, but they all came late, right? If you look at his first couple games of the season, I don't know what the Bears were doing. I don't know if their blocking teams were bad up front. I don't know if Waldron wasn't sure what to do with Swift, but he averaged like less than 2 yards a carry for like the first few weeks of the season. You know, after that, they figured things out a little better. They still used him in some weird ways, trying to run him up the middle on goal line sets. Like, what are we doing with DeAndre Swift? That's not who he is. So they kind of, once they realized the role for him, they learned how to use him. You know, I think he's okay. You know, he still has limitations, but you know, when Ben Johnson had him in Detroit, you know, everyone's like, oh, he had him traded right away. Well, early in the season, he was the number one, right? Swift got an injury at some point. I forget when it was, that first year he was there with Ben Johnson, and it was all they went to the other guy. So, and why is his name? Who was the other tailback in Detroit? Why is that name I'm forgetting that name now.
Yeah,
but he's very similar from a physical standpoint to Roschon Johnson. So Ben Johnson has had success with more of a physical style runner. So he did that in Detroit. I think he may, you know, Roschon Johnson may surprise a lot of fans. He may surprise me because I wasn't expecting much from him this year. But the more I dug into what Ben Johnson did there, Jamal Williams was that tailback in Detroit. The more he did with Jamal, I'm like, well, they're similar. You look at their RAS score, their combine stuff, very similar from a physical standpoint, very similar. You know, so he can do some stuff there. And then Kyle Monangai, man, I don't think Bears fans knew anything about him when he was drafted. Obviously, 7th round pick. You know, the Bears kind of waited to get him. But the more you watch him, the more you see how he is. He's a smaller guy, but he's very thick put together. He runs with good contact balance. You know, I think he'll be your number 3. And I would not be surprised to see him get some more carries as the year goes on. And then the thing about Monangai is he knows how to pick up the blitz. He knows how to pass pro. That gets rookies on the field that position quicker than anything. You know, it's not how good of a runner you are. Can you pick up a blitz? Oh, you can. So now I can trust you to come in here and run my offense with you. So it's a pretty good room. Could it be better? Of course. But I think with Ben Johnson and the upgrades up front, I think the run game's going to be okay.
I do too. I'm glad you said that about Kyle Monangai. I am Aston Genty without speed. I just think his contact balance is great. He just doesn't have that breakaway speed, and that's fine. That's fine. Just keep giving people body blows. At some point, you're going to be able to get to the head because you got to cover up for those ribs. And I like this kid. This kid is not afraid to work, not afraid to pancake a backer coming through. All right, and I said that as well. Like, that's the best way. If you're a rookie running back, the best way to get on the field is show you can pass pro, because they know you can run.
Yeah,
you know you can run the ball. Obviously, you're drafted in the NFL. You can run the God blessed ball. All right, you led the Big Ten in rushing 2 seasons ago. You think you're second this past season. You can run the ball. That's big boy football in the Big Ten, the SEC. That's big boy football. So I'm looking forward to him. I think that Roschon Johnson might get lost in the fray, and he might be that third down or that short yardage back if Kyle Monangai shows that he can't be that dude. And I'm not sure that he won't be, because of what you talked about, his contact balance, his power, his strength. I like it. So Roschon Johnson, better buckle him up tight because he's in for a battle. I mean, they'll keep all three.
Yeah.
Anything about Ian Wheeler? The guy who tore his ACL last year and then Hard Knocks but he's a burner.
Yeah, I mean, he flashed last preseason, obviously, and obviously his story on Hard Knocks was fun to kind of follow. One of our guys interviewed him in a podcast. Really nice guy, so you're rooting for him. He's easy to root for, but I just think, at this point, coming off the ACL, I think he's maybe destined for the practice squad, which is fine. I mean, he's one step closer, obviously, to keep living his dream. Obviously, last year was all gone with injury reserve, but bring him back to the practice squad. Let's see what happens. He has some special teams ability. So who knows? I mean, that's a position that gets banged up quite a bit throughout the year. So if he makes the practice squad, he's just one step away from getting a shot in the NFL.
Dude, do you realize I just looked this up? When I came out, it was about $3,000 a week for practice squad players. And I was trying to get a trial with the Bears when I got back from Italy. NFL practice squad players with 2 or fewer years of experience earn a minimum of $13,000 a week.
Yeah, it's a nice gig. I mean, it's a good gig for these guys. And, and the nice thing about a practice squad is you're still a free agent. So it's like, you can still negotiate with all the other teams in the league. The contract's not exclusive. That's why we always see a lot of times with the guy who gets poached and it was like, oh, that's the Bears should have blocked it. You can't block it. They're free agents. They're able to do whatever they want. So if you're a running back and you see, oh man, the Steelers just had an injury, now your agent kind of work the phones, right? And let's go. Hey, I got a guy in the Bears practice squad. Let's go. And so you can't block those moves. The player can decline, say, no, I'm going to stay where I'm at. But like you said, they're making $13,000 a week. That's nothing compared to an actual rookie contract in the NFL. So that's why most guys just go and they take the money and they look for a better opportunity.
And if you get taken off the practice squad, you have to be on a 53-man roster. They can't take you from one practice squad and put you on theirs. So that means you're getting an actual a full NFL week.
You're guaranteed a 3-week minimum if you get signed to an active roster. You have to keep him on the active roster for 3 weeks or pay you for 3 weeks. And there's some other rules where if you're playing the Packers this week, Packers can't steal your guy. And that's one. There's a few rules where it depends on who you're playing, but it's an interesting place. But like I said, I liked him. I'm rooting for him. I just think he gets kind of lost in the shuffle, especially because the Bears have Travis Homer, who's their 4th running back, and they're not going to carry 5. So, and they just paid Homer, $2 million a year to kind of be their special teams guy. So, I think they'll carry 4 tailbacks, and Wheeler will kind of make that practice squad.
Talk to me about the wide receivers. All right, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze. People are looking at or expecting him to take a step forward. Then you got Luther Burden, who can be that wild card. He led the NCAA in yards after catch last year. All right, Rome Odunze led the NCAA in yards receiving the year before he came out. They got some yak monsters. And oh yeah, by the way, Colson Loveland is looking nice and smooth. Give me your thoughts on this receiving core that Caleb's going to have to throw to.
Yeah, it's a good group. I mean, on paper, we hope things come together, and we kind of thought it had a good group last year. It wasn't quite as what we thought, but last year didn't have Ben Johnson, right? Yeah. Everything changes this year. So DJ Moore's, just like he did last year, he'll get some carries out of the backfield. They want to scheme touches up for him whenever they can because he's really good with the ball in his hands. Ben Johnson talked about Rome Odunze as being that classic X receiver. Split him out wide, let him run the full route tree out there. So I think that's what you're going to get out of him. And look, people look at him and say, oh, he had a down year, a bad rookie season. He was the Bears' 3rd receiver, right? He had 700 yards as the number 3. Those are pretty good numbers across the league. There weren't very many number 3 receivers in the league that had better numbers than Odunze. So it wasn't a disappointment. Now, as far as some of the route running, some of the miscommunications with him, some of the missed blocks, he was a rookie, right? He was kind of going through some rookie growing pains. So I really like the upside of Rome Odunze. Obviously, DJ Moore, as we all know who he is. Luther Burden, man, this guy was electric in college, and like we talked around the top, man, being called out in practice and kicked off, that's a good thing for his development, right? He's not going to pout and go into a shell. He's going to work harder, right? He wants to be on that field, and he's already behind because he missed all of the offseason. And what's his name? Come on, give me the pronunciation. Olamide Zaccheaus.
Zacchaeus,
the guy they signed, he's a good route runner too. So Burden's got to kind of pass him up on the depth chart. So, it's going to be a good mix. We may not get the race to 1,000 yards this year from three guys, but I think DJ Moore and Rome kind of can both push for that number.
That would be great if the third receiver, because we're forgetting, don't forget Cole, don't forget Colson Love, like they're going to get some yards too.
Yeah. And
this offense can be really, really, if you put your egos to the side, I think this offense could be super, super explosive. I think Caleb could easily get 4,000 yards. Again, I'm not a big stat guy. All right. I couldn't care less if Caleb never hits 4,000 yards. He hits in the threes, 336, 38, 39 one year, 32. But we're in the playoffs and we're battling for the NFC title every year. I'm more than okay with that.
Yeah.
More than okay with that. All right. I'm not worried about stats. A lot of people are because they play fantasy football. No, I don't really give a rat's ass. Well, give me your thought on Caleb. What do you want to see from him after camp and moving into the regular season?
Yeah, it's that growth that Ben Johnson's talked about, that the players have talked about. That's the pre-snap procedure. That's really like the buzzword, right, through camp here. It's, there's going to be a lot of moving parts. That's what Ben Johnson will do, a lot of motions, a lot of shifts. That's kind of where the league's going, and we haven't really seen that in Chicago much. So, Ben Johnson's been on the cutting edge of that, for a while. So we're going to see him doing this, but again, it's these shifts and these motions. When is the ball being snapped? Is his timing matched up with the guy that's coming across in motion? I mean, that's some of the issues we saw last year with the miscommunications. So just keep growing. Like I said, I think he's got a great shot for 4,000 yards too. If he doesn't happen. Obviously, the wins are more important. Ben Johnson will run the ball. I mean, last year in the Lions, I think he was like top 5, run pass ratio. He will commit to the run if it's clicking, if it's working. And I think with those guys up front, it's gonna work this year much better for the Bears. Look at Shorty over here, losing faith in Burden. It's
come on, Shorty.
It's he's back, man. I mean, that's what rookies do. Rookies make mistakes. It happens. So he's in there. He's going to get in that playbook. He's going to earn this stuff on there. He's just, man, watch his film in Missouri, man. He was electric with the ball in his hands. And I'm sure maybe he was caught a little bit, in college, the big superstar. It's not a huge program, obviously, there in Missouri. So, I'm sure that he got a little bit of that, but, that ain't happening.
He got a smack in reality when they kicked him off the field.
Ben Johnson ain't playing. So, it's a good group. I think they're all going to be fine. And like we said, that offense will start clicking eventually. And it's different, right? A lot of fans, it won't work because it never worked in the past. Well, why are you comparing what happened with Eberflus? Eberflus was a jackass, dude. He was terrible. Like, why are we comparing anything then? Why are we comparing anything in the Nagy era? Like that doesn't compare. I mean, this is different. The Bears never had a quarterback like Caleb. They never had a play caller like Ben Johnson. It's a different era. Judge these guys on what they do now, not on what happened with guys that aren't even in the league anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll tell you what, I think watch for Luther Burden, because that could have woken him up. That when you get called out like that, the Luther Burden, you watch his tape. This kid, like I said, he led the NCAA in yards after catch. That's electric. Like, we haven't had a dude who will run the ball and like shake people. Like, he's in the open, he'll shake people and then has the speed to go by him and take it to the house. Like, his stop-start ability is crazy. It's crazy. He can stop at a dime, change direction, and then get to top speed in like 3 steps, and now you're screwed. Yeah. We haven't had a guy like that. And that's what I'm looking for. And he's a little bigger guy. He's built kind of like DJ Moore, where he's not a little skinny guy like a Deshaun Jackson, you know what I mean? Or LaShawn McCoy, you know what I mean? He's not a skinny guy. He's got some mass to him that he doesn't go down easy. So I'm looking forward. I think that could have been a wake-up call for him. And if it was, man, that's going to be one heck of a thing for Caleb to have so many different options to throw to. Talk to me real quick on the defensive side of the ball. Give me your thoughts on the defensive line. Is this the year that Gervon Dexter finally breaks out? He started to show some improvement last year. Now he's got a cagey vet to kind of lean on and pick his brain and Grady Jarrett. Your thoughts on that D-line?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of upsides to it. Dexter, obviously coming in, he was, learning a new scheme, a new style to play. Rookie year was kind of up and down with him. Last year, he had a great start to the season. And then you look at what happened next to him was Andrew Billings went down. I think losing Billings next to him kind of put more pressure on him. It kind of made him more of the focus of this of what opposing, offensive lines are going to block. And I think having that, his sack numbers went down, his quarterback hit numbers went down, tackles for loss all went down. Most of those were done with Billings, but now Billings is back. Grady Jarrett's in the mix.
Yeah,
I think that's really going to help, Gervon Dexter, because now you can't really, worry about him. And then, of course, there's still some questions coming off the edge. I like Montez Sweat. He's a good football player. He's not a 10, 15 sack guy consistently. He just doesn't have that juice off the edge. Deo on the other side, I think he's fine. I think he got a pretty good paycheck because they're going to move him all around that line, right? He's kind of a guy that kind of kick inside. And we talk about Dennis Allen wants to move his guys around. So now you got a guy in Deo who has experience doing that. He did that when he was, previously with the Colts. He played D tackle, he played end, he lined up in different techniques. So he's comfortable doing that, move them around. They're going to scheme guys. They don't have that one, guy that gets sacks, but they're going to scheme guys in there. Last year with the Saints, their nickel back had like 5 sacks in like the first few games of the season, because Dennis Allen will scheme these guys open. So look for Kyler Gordon to have a big year. Look for Tremaine Edmonds to bounce back and have a nice season, because he knows how to scheme these guys up for some of these looks, and he'll put them in good situations. I was never a big fan of Eberflus's scheme. Look, it wasn't the Tampa 2. It wasn't old school Lovey. He had his own twist on it, but it was still very, very plain Jane. What do you want these guys to do? It was put them in a position, make plays. That's fine. At some point, if it's not working, you got to do something else. And we kind of saw Flus do that a bit towards the end of the year. We kind of knew, well, I had to blitz some because my guys are getting pressure. Dennis Allen won't wait. He won't wait for a problem to fix it. He's going to be out in front of it. He's going to have his guys attacking. It's an attacking defense. We'll see more man-to-man this year. I think Jalen Johnson, once he gets healthy, he'll be fine. They don't seem concerned. Whatever the injury is, of course, it's camp. They're not going to say what it was. I'm guessing soft tissue injuries, my guess.
Have to, so yeah.
Tyreek Stevens is a better fit for this scheme. Nashawn, there's so many guys that are getting extra chances here with these injuries that are really showing up. So, these guys are kind of step up, and I think that they'll fit his scheme, and we'll see some interesting stuff on the back end of that defense.
Your thoughts on Shamar Turner, who just went down? He says he's going to be out about a month. I really liked him. Yeah. He plays with that. He's kind of like has that asshole attitude.
I was going to say he's an asshole on the field, right? Yeah,
that we need. Yeah. I mean, I don't want him punching dudes in the nuts anymore, okay? But that's the attitude that I want to have, and he just watching him play. He has just that edge that he could just go off at any time, and that's the thing that excites me about him. Like, there's violence. He's very violent at the point of attack. He's violent with his hands. He's violent when he gets to the quarterback. This is the kind of guy we haven't had. We've had talented players, plenty of talented players, but not guys who are talented with that edge, who play on that line, who cross it sometimes or erase it and redefine it and redraw it. That's the type of dude that I like. Give me your thoughts on him and what he could do, because he's very fortunate. Lester, I've talked about this many a time. The most important coaching you get when you go up from one level to another, high school to college to pro, is your first couple of years, especially year one. He's got a great D-line coach, but he's also got Grady Jarrett, who plays that same way.
Yeah.
To feast on. Your thoughts on what Shamar Turner could be like when he finally gets back healthy off his injury?
Yeah, I mean, Brad Biggs said it could be 4 weeks, maybe a month. So that tells me we're probably high ankle sprain. Sometimes those linger. Yeah. There's a chance the Bears may put him on IR to open the season, which means he'll be gone for the first 4 weeks. But look, they're not going to rush him back. I mean, right. Yeah, they want to have him. They plan on him being part of the mix. But I like Turner. I mean, I thought his film in college, he kind of like another guy. He played up and down the line. He played some defensive end. He played off the edge. He played defensive tackle. Dennis Allen already mentioned that year one, they don't want to move him, right? You're a D tackle. That's what you're going to do. So they're going to let him kind of stay there and thrive there and grow there. So get him back, let him get in that mix. And like I said, man, Grady Jarrett, he's just, I talked to people that cover the Falcons, for years, and he was one of their favorite guys of all time. Just what he brings to the locker room. Obviously he's an all-pro player, right? Or a Pro Bowl player for a few years ago. He had that injuries kind of coming back from, but if he can approach right where he was, pre-injury, which he started showing a little bit flashes last year, he ain't going to play 800 snaps in Chicago.
Nope.
We're going to cut those down, maybe 600 snaps, keep him fresh, keep him healthy. Dexter inside, Billings inside, rotate Deo inside. Chris Williams, they brought back as a restricted free agent. He's inside. So keep Grady Jarrett fresh. I will not surprised to see his numbers, better than what he did last year in Atlanta.
Dude, that's my thought exactly. And then once you get Shamar Turner in there and he's back healthy, think of it. Now that's a rotation. That's reminiscent of what Philadelphia does when they come at you at waves, I should say. All right, you're going to be able to swap out, all right, Gervon Dexter and Billings, and then bring in Shamar Turner and Grady Jarrett. You know what I mean? Like you go from holy shit, thank God there's no rest for the weary. This is what we're starting to see. And this is what I like about this team, because you come that offensive line, as you know, you get fresh bodies every 3 or 4 plays. You're like, God bless it, especially late in the game. So I'm looking forward to this guy, looking forward to them, this defensive line.
Yeah.
Listen, I appreciate your time, Papa. Do me a huge favor, though. Before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
You can find me social at Wiltfong Jr. I'm on Twitter and the Blue Sky. Everything I write, Windy City Gridiron. All my podcasts, video stuff is at Second City Gridiron.
Dude, great stuff, man. I appreciate your time, Papa.
Anytime, my friend.
Bear down. Are you going to what are you going to go to Family Fest or?
No camp for me this year. No Family Fest. I'm on IR. I got a Achilles issue. I got to get surgery next week, so I've been in a boot here for a while. I can't drive, man. I've been home doing nothing.
It's your right ankle? Your right foot?
Yeah, it's my right foot. Achilles rupture. Can't drive. Can't do anything till I get that fixed. And so I'm going to be on IR for a while.
What are you doing, bro?
I'm just getting old, man. It's one of those things where I'm sure it was hanging by a thread for years, and it finally went. So
I hear you, bro. I tell everybody, dude, don't get old. You wake up like the body part's gonna hurt today.
Yeah, tough.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Les. Appreciate
Anytime.
you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Righty. Guys, that's the Wiltfong from Windy City Gridiron talking Bears football with it. And there's a lot that a lot. All right, guys. Don't be so quick to judge. All right, you got to see how things play out. Okay? Yeah, things can look good to start, but so do your relationships. Things are all hunky-dory in the beginning of your relationships. All right, and then it goes to hell. Let things play out. Ben Johnson is going to be the X factor. He's bringing in an attitude, an aura. I don't know why my screen has to be like boom, like much bigger. He's bringing in a culture. He's establishing a culture that is different. That is, it's going to be player run, but he's setting the tone. Okay? The level of expectation, Mike Tomlin said it best, and many people quote him. I'm going to quote him now. The standard is the standard, period. And what Ben Johnson is doing is setting the standard. All right? You're supposed to be ready. You don't get it, get off the field. Okay? We're not here to coddle you. This is not college. It's not high school. I need you to understand it. If you don't understand it, we need to, during install is where we need to and I'm okay. He'll probably say, listen, maybe one time he'll give him a little more rope, a little more leeway because they are learning a new system. Okay, but that second time, and God forbid that third time, get the hell off the field. All right, he doesn't have time. This offense needs to run smooth, run efficiently, and all 11 people have to know what they're doing on every play. And if you don't, give you the next guy up, the guy who hopefully he knows. When you set that standard, when you set that type of expectation, this is how practice is going to be. This is how games are going to be. You have two choices as a player. Abide by it and get your shit straight, or fall by the wayside and your ass will be cut real fast. And you ask these guys where they're going to get a paycheck like they're getting in the NFL, in the real world, probably not going to be able to get it. So my best guess is that they're going to acclimate themselves to this type of pressure and understanding your responsibility on every play. Because where else are you going to get 5-6 figures a week? It can be done. Don't get me wrong. It can be done. But you got to find it. And sometimes it doesn't start off at 5 or 6 figures a week. When you have it now, doing something you love, you're going to protect that. Let me tell you one thing. Men protect what they love. That's just a general rule. Men protect what they love. I'm excited that this is here's what's going to happen. After Ben Johnson sets this tone, his first 2 years, he's not going to have to worry about it again. Might even be this year. Just 1 year. But definitely after 2 years, he's not going to have to worry about the locker room. He's not going to have to worry about the effort because you know why? The veterans, the people who are here long-term, they're going to set the standard. They're going to maintain it in the locker room on the practice field. They're going to do it for him. Just like it was in New England. You know, how many times have we heard people who played for New England a year or two? A good friend of mine, Marcus Sullivan, big shout out to Marcus. Actually, we're meeting for lunch Friday. Played for the Patriots. He played for the Buffalo Bills. He's a Fenwick guy, went to U of I. Played for the Buffalo Bills for 4 or 5 seasons. Went to the Giants for a season and the Patriots for a season. Played with Tom Brady. He said he chopped it up with Brady because they're both former Big Ten rivals, Brady, Michigan, him in Illinois. And I asked him the first question when we became friends, like, how was it playing under Belichick? He's like, it wasn't even Belichick, dude. It was the players. The players in the locker room had adhered to that standard that Belichick had set years ago. And he goes, Belichick didn't have to worry about the locker room because the veterans picked up the mantle and picked up the ball and ran with it. And that's going to be what's going to happen here in Chicago. So who are going to be the veterans? Jalen Johnson, maybe. Caleb Williams, definitely. Okay, DJ Moore's going to be here for a few years. Roma Dunze is going to be here for a few years. Luther Burden should be here for a few years. Colson Loveland should be here for a few years. Okay, you have guys, Gervon Dexter is going to be here for a few years. You have guys here who are going to be those I believe are going to be the core. Those are going to be the guys who carry the standard forward. They police the locker room. They run it. And when you have a team where your leaders run the team, now we're talking about a championship quality team. And I want to talk about Dan Orlovsky last week. People gave him a lot of shit because he said it might take a couple of years for Caleb to get this offense. And people immediately, what did he want? He sucked. He did this. He was a journeyman. He did that. People are so easily triggered and butthurt. Okay? So easily triggered. If it goes against what you like or what you want, they call you names. We saw that in the Civil War, the Justin Caleb situation. If you didn't like Caleb, you're a Justin sexual. You're this, you're that, you're all types of stuff. Okay? And vice versa. But how long did it take Jared Goff to truly get Ben Johnson's offense? Didn't happen the first year. So if it doesn't go If Caleb doesn't throw for 4,300 yards and 40 touchdowns, don't get upset. Don't get upset. It's going to take a while. And I'm here to tell you, as I told you before, they may be asking Caleb to be like Jim McMahon. Turn around, hand that ball off. Play action pass. Hit the play action after the linebackers are sucked up. Remember, I told you he can go 14 for 21 for 350 yards because of the yak monsters that he has. He might not have big numbers or a lot of pass attempts, but because of the fact that they run the ball and they plan to run the ball a lot, it's going to greatly affect play action, which is why I tell you, watch him in camp. If you've been to camp, watch these things. If you go to Fan Fest, watch these things. How much effort does he put into play fakes? Because now you have a wide open, your window behind the linebackers is so much better. So I'm looking forward to Caleb's development. I really am. I'm looking forward to him to be able to sit back there, pick a defense apart. Might not happen week 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's okay. See, Shorty's triggered. Anyone see that Caleb's stats after year 1 are better than Orlovsky's career stats? Listen. Do you ever notice some people who aren't the best players become great coaches? All right, because you're not talented enough to be a great player. So you have to work on all the fundamentals of whatever sport you're playing. And if you're a quarterback, believe you me, you understand how difficult it is to play quarterback, how difficult it is to run a system. And for Orlovsky to stay around in the NFL for so long, 14 years? For him to stay around and master, you know a lot. So I give him respect. A lot of people don't like him, and they take personal attacks. No one cares about his stats. The fact of the matter is he was able to hang out for 14, 15 years in the NFL. That's an accomplishment. So you don't think he's seen multiple offensive coordinators? Obviously. You don't think he's seen multiple quarterbacks? Obviously. It's easy to throw shade on someone who doesn't have gaudy numbers, but those are the people that make good coaches. Those are the people that make good analysts. Now, he might be playing a role, a character, like Stephen A. Smith does, but I like his, for all intents and purposes, I like his the analysis that he gives. Cornelius says, if it be great, he'll master the play action fake. He better. And I think Ben Johnson's going to help him, saying this is what you need to do. And I'll tell you, if he does, the sooner he does that, the better, the sooner we're going to see an offense that becomes extremely potent. An offense like we haven't seen since Cutler, Marshall, Martellus Bennett, Alshon Jeffrey, Matt Forte. We're not going to see, we'll see an offense as powerful, as prolific as that, and even more powerful and prolific than that offense. Remember what I've told you. If you take care of the little things, there are no big things. See how it comes full circle. Like everything I've said in the past for years applies here. Caleb, take care of the little things. Good footwork. Okay, ball has to come out on the third step. Has to come out on the third step. If your guy's not open, put it in the first row. It's ball fakes. All these things. I'm excited about it. This offense is going to be something we haven't seen before. Man, maybe ever. That 2013 Bears offense was pretty legit. Rick Gonzalez checking in. What's up, Bob? I said, damn, Shawn, it's Jeffries, not Jeffrey. Is that like the Aldis and the Jewels? Got to add the S to the end. But, oh, man, good to see you, Rick. But this is why, if you've noticed how I've been consistent on everything I've said for years. Football there's some things that are tried and true. And I've stayed consistent on everything I've said. Watch Caleb, and you're right, Cornelius, if he does want to be great, he'll master that play fake. Who's one of the best? Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning couldn't even move. But he had that ball out there, him and Edgerrin James. Remember that? He'd get that ball out there, hand it off in a wide zone. Next play to the left side, wide zone, pulls it. Dallas Clark, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne. All behind the second, between the second and third levels. We are in a situation, we're in the beginning of a I don't want to say dynasty, but we're in the beginning of a new era that we can all, as Bear fans, be proud of. We all, as a blue-collar city, can be proud of. We're going to run the ball. We're going to punch you in the mouth. Then we're going to go up over top. We're gonna punch you in the rib. Man, body blows, body blows, body blows, body blows. Left, body blow, body blow. Drop them hands to cover them ribs. Here it comes. Here comes Luther Burden over the top. Here comes Rome Odunze. Here comes DJ Moore. Over the top. This team is going to be methodic. This team is going to be intentional. And this team's going to be fun because we're going to be sitting there as Bear fans. Imagine this. We're going to be sitting there as Bears fans, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, like, oh, we got it. We're going to get to that level. We're not there yet. We're going to get to that level. Oh, we got it. Oh, we'll get it. That's what this revamped offensive line has provided us. That's what bringing in Ben Johnson has provided us. We're going to get to that level where we're comfortable saying, oh yeah, we got it. We're not worried about it. 3rd and 2, we're good. Oh, we'll get it. And that's what excites me. Because guess what? Defenses know that shit too. And when you know that, you're defeated before the play even starts. Now you're cooking with gas. So enjoy it. Get out to camp. Like I said, I'm gonna see if I can get some credentials. If not, probably just go to Fan Fest. But watch these things. Get excited about these things. What I tell you, be here. Be where your feet are. I know I've talked about 2026, but I also told you I'm gonna be president 2025. I'm gonna watch this growth of this young team. I'm gonna watch the growth and enjoy it. Understand when there's valleys. All right, when we stumble a little bit, it's part of the process. Rick, why are you saying F 2026? We're not going to the Super Bowl this year. We're building the foundation. We are laying the foundation. Many of you guys have houses that you probably have basements. Guess what? The basement was built first. Your foundation was built first. That was laid first. And I'm going to enjoy watching us build the foundation. I'm going to enjoy watching Caleb Williams hit DJ Moore. I'm going to enjoy Caleb Williams hitting Rome Odunze. I'm going to enjoy Caleb Williams connecting with Luther Burden. I'm going to enjoy Caleb Williams connecting with Colston Loveland. I'm going to love watching Caleb Williams connecting with Cole Kmet. I'm going to love watching Caleb Williams connecting with DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. I'm going to love it. And then the defense comes and shuts the offense, the opposing offense down, and we go out and do it again. I'm going to love it. When we go, we're at the precipice of a situation where we know our offense goes out in the field. They're going to have a swag about them. Believe me, I've out of control. Shorty, 2025 Super Bowl bound FGB. I'm telling you, I've coached teams, but more importantly, I played on teams. I've been part of that team. Well, the offense, we can just do whatever we want. We knew we were the shit. We knew. And we're getting to that point. We're going to be at that point where our offense goes out there. Oh, we got you, D. Don't worry about it. 4-minute offense to close out the game. We got it. Actually, it's 3 minutes because we scored a touchdown. Sorry, D. You meant to hold the ball, but we accidentally scored a touchdown. So now we're up 12 instead of 5. That's where we're going, and that's what Johnson is instilling. He's building this. So when we get to that point, we're going to talk about it. And I'll reference this day with you guys. I'll reference it. The first day I wore my Coaching Matters shirts. And this is also going to be on sale on Sports Zone Chicago Swag Shop, along with the FGB one. I'm going to reference this day. We're going to be, and Bear fans, we're going to be arrogant. We're going to be pricks. I'm telling you. I had to deal with that with all my New England friends for 20 years. Remember, I went to school in Massachusetts. I had to deal with it for 20 years. I'd get texts. They wouldn't even, they're like, we're worried about the playoffs. That's how we're going to be. And that's where I can't wait to get to. Rick, I know you're right about 2026 will be better for the Bears, but every year since the 86, I think we're going all the way. FGB. Hey, it's cool, Baba. I told you there's a way that the Bears can get to the Super Bowl this year. It's unlikely, but there's a way. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just a very slim hope. Junior, right. FGB forever. And listen, guys, 2 hours has come and gone. I want to thank you guys for putting up with the technical issues early on. That was, oh, man, that was tough. I apologize. Whew. But we got to go. We got it connected. We got Lester. I want to thank big shout out to my man, Lester Wiltfong Jr. for coming on, talking Bears with us. I want to thank you guys in the chat for keeping this shit lit as you do every single show. I appreciate the love and the support that you guys give me. I truly do. I'm telling you, we're working on that swag shop. It's going to have some cool shit. I'm telling you, you saw the FGB shirt on Friday. You see the Coaching Matters shirt today. That's going to be on there. A lot of cool stuff for my smokers. We got a lot of cool shit. All right. So I'm looking forward to the swag shop coming out. You guys can get some stuff and rep some Sports Zone Chicago gear. We're going to have hats, hoodies, the whole nine. We got good stuff. But before I leave, let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. Make sure you summertime shines in full effect. Make sure you're setting up dates, breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, drinks, happy hour with your peoples. All right? I tell you all the time, a lot of us have more days behind us than we do in front of us. Let's live these days that we have ahead of us. We don't know how many we have left, but let's make as many memories as we can with our loved ones and your family members, at least the ones you still talk to, like I do. So listen, for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. I'm going to replay this at 6 o'clock tonight. But for everyone here, your boy is out.
Raise the bass.